Thanks for inviting me up here. I was having so much fun down there. I thought it would be fun to be up here, too.
Way more fun up here.
It is. So that actually just answered most of my questions, but I'm sure I can conjure up another one.
Well, tell us what you got from that. In other words, if that answered your question, then let's milk that for the pleasure for a minute.
Okay, so I related to that last dialogue on several ways, but I have a 9-year-old daughter who is, thanks to all the people in this room, including you, has listened to the Sarah books every night for years. And the other day she had a specific outcome that she wanted to see, and we came up with kind of the words, I feel good.
Everything's always working out for me.
Yeah, kind of like that. I mean, just that she feels really good having fun with this outcome at school. And then it went a different direction, and I was tucking her in, and she was going to bed, and she looked at me really sad and said, "It doesn't work." And it kind of hurt me a little bit, because I know it does work, because my life is unfolding and beautiful.
That's a good time to say you're just taking score too soon.
I said it does, yeah.
Sometimes the path of least resistance is a little convoluted, but the payoff's always there.
Well,
Unless you get sad and put yourself on a different trail.
I hopped right back into being appreciative, and she did too, but I just had a same conversation with her, and it kind of came up again, and she changed it that it isn't that it doesn't work, it's just that it didn't work. And
Yet. It's working.
And how is unfolding is still yet to be seen.
Yeah, because there's so much fun if everything you wanted just all of a sudden happened, after a while you'd say, it works, but it is boring, boring, boring. I wanted it's there, I wanted it's there, I wanted it's there, I wanted it's there, I wanted it's there. Need a bigger garage, I wanted it's there, I wanted it's... In other words, the fun in life is identifying the desire and molding yourself into harmony with it, and then watching the universe winking at you all along the way. And it isn't the outcome that you want anyway, it's all of the winking along the way. In other words, the reason you want that is for the potential of feeling alive. These are big subjects for kids, because they want manifestations. You all do, but...
Well, that's kind of what I'd like to learn more about, and that is how to support her in being on this path with me in her way, not in my way.
Well, first we want to say, don't worry about her, because she's figuring it out.
I knew you were going to say that. I know that, but I still need some certainty.
And next we want to say, we want to ask, are you letting mildly her disappointment affect your vibrational
mildly
environment? Yeah. So you can't help her under those conditions, because she is disappointed, you're reacting to her disappointment, and you're trying to offer her a remedy from that vantage point. So what you want to say to yourself is, I'm no good to her when her disappointment has become mine. So what do I know about her? She's young. To be that age and get hold of this, to be deliberately honing your environment and watching the results of that, to be born and get to go to almost immediately to step 4. How about that? To be that age and already creating life from a step 4 platform. These are good times.
That sounds better.
These are really good times. And would I, in any way possible, deprive her of anything that she needed to help her to identify what she wants? And is her desire really sharpened to its strongest point, or is there much more bang for her buck coming now as a result of the desire that she is living? In other words, you're the creator of your own reality. Not one of you. It's like the sculptor. You grab this big clump of clay, it's your first time. Ooh, it feels funny in your hand. You slap it down, you say, well, that didn't turn out very well. That's not the way you want it. You want to get your hands in it. You want to figure it out. You want to watch what's going on with it, you see. It's life experience. You came for the experience of life, not for the results of life. Can you hear the difference? You didn't come for the bullet points. You came for all of it. And so there isn't anything more delicious than to be 8 or 80. It doesn't matter what your age is. And to deliberately find a feeling and then notice the number of things in a day that come that represent that feeling. Good feeling or bad feeling. It is so wonderful to be consciously aware that this is coming because of this feeling. And then if you don't like what came, say, I can't change that outcome. I can't move from 100,000 in debt to 100,000 in the black instantaneously, but I do have the ability to change the emotion. I do have the ability to start in a simple enough place that I can find an emotion that feels good, and I do have the knowledge that law of attraction will add the momentum to that, you see. What we want to say to all of you, as if you are 8, when something doesn't happen and you feel disappointment, something so much better is coming, because now you have this impetus with you too. And if you don't get freaked out in this disappointment and hold it off, it'll come fast. How often has that happened to you, where it looked like it wasn't working out and then something so much better worked out? And in retrospect, you say, oh yeah, I can see how that added to that, you see. And it's always that way. Do you believe us when we tell you that you create your own reality? And do you believe us when we say, because we said it today in a clearer way than we've ever said it before, that there is an environment surrounding you of focused, it's not nebulous, it's focused and specific well-being about you, focused toward you. Do you believe that? Oh, if we could just find a way of helping you to understand, to visualize, to see, to know this stream of well-being that's focused upon the brilliance and the beauty that is you, focused on you all the time, just looking for a crack of a little bit of resistance for the good to get in. But you're saying, oh, I wasn't born under the right star, or my mother always liked her best, or that teacher told me that I'd never amount to anything, or the kids in school always bullied me, or I don't have as much money as I want, or I'm misunderstood all the time. In other words, as you're beating the drums, as you're telling it the way you think that it is, then even though Source never lets up, Source never stops watching for the opportunity to help you know just a little more how worthy you are and help you know just a little more how brilliant you are, never stops giving you, through the path of least resistance, the next great idea, which sometimes you translate into something that you call inspiration, never stopping, never giving up, never stopping. Do you understand that now? Do you understand it a little more? Are you more in a place that you're wanting to let more of that in? Aren't you ready to say thanks, 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 thanks more of the time? Thanks, that was a really good idea. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for knowing what I want. Thanks for understanding who I am. Talk about parental guidance. Your kids don't need you. They've got Source. And most parents thwart the relationship between kids and Source because they try to do what Source does better, and parents don't do it very well because they worry. You see. So, do you know you create your own reality? Do you know that it's a vibrational universe? Do you know that things are always working out to you, and the evidence of them working out for you is happening in this moment to the degree that you are soft and compliant and allowing it, and that you are the one that builds the shell around you and makes it a rougher ride than it needs to, but you could soften that shell and it would be a less rough ride. Do you get that? And that what is happening to you has nothing to do with anyone else on the planet, except that you're reacting to the way they're reacting to you and messing up what you're doing with your vibrational reality, that with your vibrational environment. Esther's been trying to find the perfect word because she can feel us meaning it. So she wants to say it's a climate, or it's an environment. It's a state of being. It's the vibrational beingness that you want to work on. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would work on it in these ways. We would go to places that feel good as often as we could. And we would acknowledge that it feels good, and we would try to identify what is it about this place that feels so good. In other words, we would not try to solve issues. And we would not get into debates with people who are trying to solve issues. And we would not talk about problems of others with them. And we would not talk about our own problems with anyone else. We would spend our time looking for that central place that feels good, even if it's something as central and basic as the sun came up this morning and that helped me. And the food keeps growing, and that helps all of us. And the world keeps turning because it is right that it does. And babies keep being born because this is the leading edge of creation. And source keeps flowing because nothing other than that is natural. And well-being abounds. No matter how hard you try to find dark corners of the world, they are small and puny in comparison with the brilliance and the beauty of the world. The well-being is dominant, no matter what anybody is focused upon in the moment. That's just a fact of the way that it is. The well-being is dominant. And as you start focusing yourself in those ways, then the details, like our friend was saying, those winks from the universe, the details, the specific details, will begin flooding into your experience until you will not be thinking that what Abraham's trying to get you to do is just withdraw from life and find something simple to focus upon and live happily ever after in a sort of confined world. Instead, you will notice that you have a cadre, a group of non-physical intelligence who understands the specific and intimate details of your desire, who is inspiring you to a path of least resistance, not just for the outcome that you think you want, but for the pleasure of the unfolding along the way. And then you're going to start making these associations. And then something's going to shift for you. It's going to be like a fulcrum shift. It's going to be like a paradigm shift. And if it hasn't already happened for you, which in many cases in this room it has, it's about to. And it will feel like this. The details of your life will cause you to feel worthy. Because suddenly you'll be reacting to the core of what is good rather than to the anomaly that feels bad. Can you feel that shift?